welcome everyone. We have already started chapter number 7, metals and non-metals. So this is a part 3 video of this chapter. So let's start. So student, in our previous video we have seen the different physical properties of metals and non-metals. So now let us study the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's see. So first chemical property of metal is electronic configuration. So electronic configuration is the basis of chemical behavior of elements, and majority of metals have up to 3 electrons in their outermost shell. That means the electronic configuration is a number of what? It is a number of proton and electrons, neutron, etc. So present in the element of these metals. So this is a electronic configuration, right? So outermost shell, that means the outermost shell of these metals is a valence shell, and they do not contain more than 3 electrons in a valence shell. So the valence shell or outermost shell of the metal contain only up to 3 electrons, that is 1, 2 or 3. So here is a table of some examples. So let's see. So first example is given as a sodium metal. So sodium, below the sodium 11 is written. So what is 11 here? This is a atomic mass number which is denoted by the symbol Z. Okay, we have already did this in our previous chapter. So which is the atomic number. So here atomic number of sodium is 11 and electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. That means in the outermost shell of the sodium only 1 electron is there. And next is magnesium metal. So magnesium metal, below it is written 12. That means the atomic number of magnesium is 12 and electronic configuration 282. That means in the last shell only 2 electrons are present. Now next example is aluminium. So atomic number of aluminium is 13. Let's see the electronic configuration. It is 283. So in the last shell of the aluminium only 3 electrons are present. That means from this table it is clear that only metals in their outermost shell contain only up to 3 electrons. So here you can see a sodium structure of a sodium atom in which you can see only 1 electrons is there in their outermost shell. Next is magnesium. You can see 2 electrons in the valence shell. Third is aluminium. We can see 3 electrons in their last shell. Next chemical property of metals is the formation of ions. So metals have a tendency to lose their valence electron to form positively charged ions, that is cations. So when metals lose electrons, okay, when metal loses electron which is a negatively charged, we already know that electron have negatively charged particles. So when these metals lose electron which is a negatively charged, so positively charged ion of that metal forms, and that positive charge ion is called as cations. Okay, that means when metals loses 1 electron, okay, it will lose 1 electron, then the positively charged of metal ion is formed, which is nothing but called as a cations. So student, here one reaction is given to us, that is sodium. So number of valence electron, we can see the electronic configuration of the sodium which is below, which is written below of it, that is 281. Okay, so in the valence shell of electron only 1 electron is present. So when this 1 electron is lost, the electronic configuration of sodium becomes 8. Okay, why 8? Because it is already lost 1 electron. And therefore we are right here plus one electron. This plus one electron is loses from the sodium, and the cation, that is Na plus, is formed. Why here plus one plus sign is there? Because it loses only one electron. Okay, that's why here Na plus is there. Now next is magnesium metal. So electronic configuration of magnesium is 282. So here we can see that after losing 2 electron, okay, after losing 2 electron, it forms, okay, it will forms magnesium plus plus. Here 2 plus signs are there, that means it loses 2 electron. So student, we have already know that electrons are elements are loses or acquire the electron to attain the stability. Okay, so next is aluminium electronic configuration 283. So here 3 electrons are present, that means aluminium will acquire 3 plus sign. Okay, so aluminium plus plus plus. So after losing 3 electron, its electronic configuration will be 2,8. So that means this is an aluminium ion after losing 3 electrons. Now next is reaction of metals with oxygen. So metals combine with oxygen to form their respective oxide. Here we can see a reaction, that is metal plus oxygen will give us metal oxides. So student, here you can see the metals, that is potassium, sodium, calcium. Okay, so we can see here as potassium is a highly reactive metal, then sodium, then calcium. Okay, so as we go downwards in the series, the reactivity of the metals is decreases. Okay, so the platinum, this is a least reactive metals. Okay, and so sodium, potassium, calcium are the highly reactive metals. So magnesium, here we can take an examples, that is magnesium plus oxygen will gives us magnesium oxide. And another example we can take, that is iron plus oxygen will gives us iron oxides. Next is the copper plus oxygen, it will gives us copper oxide. So this is how metals react with the oxygen and they form their respective oxides. So students, the metal oxide are basic in nature. They are basic in nature, and metal oxide, they are basic in nature. So we can see here in the picture that if we dip a red litmus paper in the solution of metal oxide, it turns blue. You can clearly see in the picture, red litmus dipped in the solution of the metal oxide, it turns immediately, it turns blue. So this means that the metal oxides are basic in nature. Metal oxides are basic. So metal oxides react with an acid to form salt and water. Okay, first metal reacts with oxygen, it will form its respective metal oxide. Then this metal oxide reacts with acid to form, will gives us salt and water. For example, here we can see that copper oxide will react with a sulfuric acid, it is H2SO4. Okay, so this is a formula of sulfuric acid. It will forms salt, that is copper sulfate, CuSO4 plus water. So copper sulfate is nothing but a salt. Next chemical property is reaction with acid. So student, here we have to perform one experiment or activity. So we have to take here a dilute hydrochloric acid. So the chemical formula of dilute HCl is, dilute hydrochloric acid is HCl. So here we have to take a dilute HCl in a test tube. You can see in the picture also. Then add zinc dust to it. Okay, that means hydrochloric acid is a acid and we have to add the same test tube, that is zinc dust. Zinc dust is a metal. Okay, that means we have to add here metal in the acid. So take a glowing splinter near the mouth of the tube. What is a splinter here? It is a small piece of a wood which is lit with fire. So observe the glowing splinter. You will notice some sound coming out from it. So most of the metals reacts with the dilute acids to form metal salts while hydrogen gas is released. So student, after doing this activity, the conclusion is hydrogen gas burn with the pop sound. This is the test for hydrogen gas. So most of the metals reacts with the dilute acids to form metal salt while hydrogen gas is released. Here student, a reaction is given to us which shows metal react with the dilute acid will gives us salts and hydrogen gas is released. So this hydrogen gas which is releases during the reaction causes a splinter to glow even more brighter, and also it produces a sound that comes out from the reaction. So here we can take an example like zinc. If it zinc plus HCl, it will gives us zinc chloride plus H2, that means hydrogen gas. Now next is a reaction with water. So most metals do not show any observable and fast reaction with cold water. So usually when we put any metal with the water, there we will observe no reaction or no change in the solution. But there is an exception in this. So the exception is like sodium and potassium. It will react with the cold water to produce their hydroxide, and hydrogen gas is released. So student, these are the two exceptions in the reaction with the water. So here you can see a picture in which potassium darted around on the surface of the water. It will react with the cold water. So what happened? Hydrogen gas will releases and it will turns red litmus paper to blue. So here this reaction are very dangerous, student. Therefore sodium and potassium are kept very far away from the water. Why? Because it catches a fire. As you can see in the picture also, yes, it catches a fire. That's why sodium and potassium are kept in a kerosene oil. Why? To avoid these dangerous reaction. And one more example is there, that is one more exception is there, that is magnesium metal. So magnesium will not give any reaction with water, but if we put magnesium metal in a hot water or in steam, it will give magnesium hydroxide along with hydrogen gas, which is releases from the reactions after the reaction. Now after completing this chemical properties of metal, let's learn about the chemical properties of non-metal. So first is the electronic configuration. So student, most of the non-metals have 4 to 7 electrons in their valence shell. That means non-metals have non-metals in their outermost shell, there are 4 to 7 electrons only in their last shell. So here some examples are given, that is nitrogen, oxygen and chlorine. So atomic number of nitrogen is 7, electronic configuration is 2 5, and for the oxygen it is 2 6, and for the chlorine electronic configuration is 2 8 7. Now students, here we can say that yes, so in the electronic configuration they have only 4 to 7 electrons in their valence shell. Now next is a formation of ions. So students, non-metals have a tendency to accept electrons in their valence shell to form negatively charged ions called anions. So they accept electrons. Non-metal will accept the electrons from outside, and as they accept electrons, they accept a negative charge, or they acquire a negative charge and becomes negatively charged ions, that are anions. So student, we have just now we have seen in the metals, okay, formation of ions in the metal, they form positively charged cations, but here in non-metals these form negatively charged anions by accepting the electrons. Okay, so here some examples are given. That is chlorine, it will accept one electron and it will acquire a negative charge, that you can see in the picture. Sorry, you can see in the reaction Cl minus. Here electronic configuration of chlorine is 287, okay, and after accepting a electron it becomes 288. So student, why the metals, why the non-metal accept the electrons? Because to attain a stability or to complete their octet, okay. So next is the oxygen, it will acquire 2 electrons, okay, or it will accept 2 electrons. That's why it's here oxygen 2 minus sign, that is oxygen minus minus. So before accepting the electron, its electronic configuration is 2,6, and after accepting the electron it is 2,8. That means it attained its octet is complete, and it will form its respective ion, that is oxide ion and chloride ion. Next is a nitrogen. So nitrogen, last shell only 5 electrons are there, okay. So to complete octet it requires 3 more electrons. So it will accept 3 electrons from other element and it will becomes nitride ions, that is N minus minus. So here 3 minus sign are there and electronic configuration is 2,8. Next is reaction with oxygen. So non-metals combine with oxygen to form their respective oxides. Non-metals plus oxygen, it will gives us non-metal oxide. This is a reaction of non-metals when they will combine with oxygen. Oxides of non-metals reacts with bases to form soluble salt and water. So student, it is just opposite of the metals, that metals was acid, reacts with acids to form soluble salt and water, but these metal oxide, non-metal oxide reacts with bases to form soluble salt and water. So the example is carbon, which is a non-metal, react with oxygen, it will form its oxide, that is carbon dioxide, and these carbon dioxide will react with bases. What is the base here? This is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So it will form sodium carbonate, that is salt. Sodium carbonate is salt plus water, that is H2O. So the oxides of non-metals reacts with water to form an acids. Let's see a reaction. So here oxides of non-metal, that is carbon dioxide, reacts with water to form its carbonic acid, okay, that is H2CO3. And next is a sulfur dioxide, reacts with water, it will form a sulfurous acid, that is H2SO3. And the third example in non-metal is sulfur trioxide. It will react with H2O or water to form its acid, like H2SO4, which is nothing but a sulfuric acid. Next is non-metals do not react with dilute acid, but metals will react with the dilute acid, okay. So what was happen when metals react with acid? It will form its salt and hydrogen gas was releases, but in case of a non-metals they do not react with dilute acids. So student, here we have completed our this session. So the next part of this chapter we will going to continue in our next video. Thank you.